Blake Cousins, Third Phase Moon. We're back, and we're live right now. We're on the road. A little technical issues going on Third Phase Moon, but we've got a special guest that just called in within moments, and I want to share her story tonight because it sounds like she's an experiencer, first-hand accounts at a young age. Now her child is experiencing the same thing. Do you have a child that draws aliens and UFOs at the age of 3? Now, this sounds quite extraordinary. Let's bring the caller in. I've been real busy here trying to get through the technical, so let's see if are you with us?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So give everybody your name. Tell us, when did this start happening, and how do you know you're experiencing aliens and this isn't just something maybe in your dreams?
Okay, so they have been tormenting my family for 4 generations now. And, people say I'm crazy, whatever. When my grandma was 3 years old, it started when my grandmother was 3 years old in Guatemala in, the 40s. And she would scream about these things. When she got older, she came to the U.S., and for the first time in the 70s, she saw them in a movie, and she freaked out, saying, that's what I saw, blah, 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 And my mom would have experiences with them where they would chase her, and my mom tells me about these out-of-body experiences that she has even to this day, where she's floating through walls, into a craft. And I will actually talk to my mom here in a minute, and I'll even post the link in the comments, because she posts videos on YouTube of her experiences. And they would try to dismiss it when I was younger. I'm sorry, I get really nervous and shaky talking about it.
Yeah, I bet you it's not easy. So tell us, when was your first experience, and when did you realize something was amiss?
I knew something was happening, and I would get really scared about it, not knowing exactly what it was when I was 6 or 7. I was in elementary school, and I would go to sleep in my room, and I'd have a lot of sleep paralysis, and these horrible, what I thought were dreams, being taken in, I'd see a bright light, and it was like a very lucid dream, and I would see a bright light, and then next thing I know, I'm in a room, and I can't see anyone, and I can't see anything except I'm feeling myself being violated. And then the next day, I'd wake up in the kitchen, on the kitchen floor, or, in the living room, and my parents would just dismiss it, because, and I ask them now, if you knew, then why did you always, say that it was in my mind or whatever? And, they didn't want me to be scared, which really didn't help at all, because, they just made me feel like nothing I was saying was valid. Now, my kid, since he was 1, he's had awful nightmares. At 2, he's having, sleep paralysis, night terrors. I instead of kicking him out of my bed at 2, I have to pull him into my bed at 2 because he's sleepwalking sometimes, and I've woken up and found him outside. How does my 2-year-old get through a locked door? How does that happen? And now he's telling me about aliens and how they've come to talk to him, and he has these friends that I've never seen that supposedly come and play with him at night. And, they go and play wherever, I don't know. But, I mean, and I know my child, he's 3, but he's not, the way he talks about them, they're so real, And Their names are Ariana and Ariasha, and they're 3 and 4 years old, and they're gray, and they're big, supposedly, which I don't get how, a 3 and 4 year old are big. And and he'll tell me about how they live in the sky, and now we're living in an apartment by ourselves, and I'll wake up and he's on the balcony, but he's not awake. He's just standing there, eyes rolling in the back of his head, whispering, and I can't understand what he's saying. And it's terrifying, as a mother, because I'm trying to protect him from something that I can't see and that I can't control and that I haven't been able to protect myself from in the past. And, people think I'm absolutely insane, but I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't, I'm totally sane, other than, there's aliens that talk to us, and they've taken me and taken my kid, or I don't know if they've taken my kid, but I know that he tells me about things that he should have no knowledge of.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's incredible, because it all starts out at a young age as well. There's so many people that's called into the show, and it starts between the ages of 3 and 6 years old. As a young child, they're dealing with this. How is are both experiencing the same thing? Are they together in their experiences? Can they kind of collaborate one another's story in a way, even though they are so young?
Who?
Your children?
I have one son, and what I'm assuming is, these gray alien children, Ariana and Ariasha, are who he talks to, and they live in the sky, and he plays with them at night.
So he has friends that are aliens that take him up in the sky every night, and what does he say? Is he happy about it? Is he scared?
He likes them. But the other ones are bad guys, is what he tells me. And, and my kid is very outgoing, talkative, happy, and it's so strange to see him whenever he talks about them, because he stops looking me in the eye, and he gets really quiet, and he won't talk in depth about them like he does about Ariana and Ariasha and everything else. He just tells me that they're bad guys, and they're gray, and they live in the sky, and they take people, and he tells me how they take people all over the world. And, I don't get it, because I've never exposed him to aliens or, anything like that in TV shows or movies or anything, and he should have no knowledge of these things.
You say it comes and runs in the family, these kinds of experiences. What are your parents responding to this now? Are they aware of the situation?
Yeah. And, my mom she's religious, sort of. She, she just tells me to pray over him every night, and that this is a battle that we're going to have to fight, because, they've been with us for a long time. And, she just says to pray over him and to hopefully, he'll grow out of it, or they'll leave us alone or whatever. But, I still struggle with it. I still have sleep paralysis, and I have out-of-body experiences, and things still happen. I don't see them anymore, but it's usually the nights that he's seeing things, or crying because, he wants to go see them, except he can't. He's slurring his words, and he's trying to go outside, and I have to stop him. And those are the nights where I have really bad night terrors, and sleep paralysis and all this stuff, and it's so shitty, because you don't know what to do in these situations as a parent. You don't know how to stop this.
Yeah, it's almost basically out of one's control. They could do whatever they want. Let me ask you. You say you've seen them as well. Are they? Have you seen the gray aliens personally?
When I was younger, yes. You're.
And you said you felt like they're
typical,
violating you in a way.
Yes. When I was younger, I was like, probed. I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's a lot of people that are dealing with this, and it takes a lot of guts to come out, share your story. I know it's tough, and we can move along if you like. I could understand that. Have you seen any strange markings on yourself or your child in regards to maybe a possible alien implant?
My child wakes up with these strange rectangular red, they look like burns, on his wrists. And I have no idea where they would come from. But in the morning he says that they hurt and that they burn, and they disappear throughout the day, but it's been countless times that he's woken up with these markings. Also puncture wounds that I don't know where he got them, and I don't know, it's just they eventually go away.
You said that you found your son basically you had him locked in with you, for that he was locked inside your room or something like this, and then you found him outside the room, and you could for sure tell that you absolutely locked that door, and no way in possible hell basically he could have done that.
This was when we were living at his dad's house, and it's a 2-story house. All the doors were locked downstairs, to go outside. And I woke up and I can't find my kid. And I go outside, and their house, it's on 4 acres of land. There's horses and all that stuff. And I go out, or I woke up, I couldn't find my kid, and I'm going downstairs, doors are still locked, and as I'm walking through the dining room, he's outside in the front yard. How he got there, how he got through locked doors, I don't know. He was fine. He wasn't hurt or anything.
What did the father think of this? Was he aware of the situation? Was he concerned? Like maybe somebody, what's going on here? As a father or a parent, yeah, definitely I'd be concerned. What did he think? His dad does drugs, all that stuff. He's a loser, and he dismisses it and thinks that I'm crazy, and there has to be some logical explanation for it. And the door must have been unlocked, and you just didn't realize it, or whatever. Well, you know what? You're more than welcome to come back and keep us updated, because people are going to be hearing this, and they're going to. Pretty much, if they've experienced anything like this, they're going to gravitate towards your experience and how you're explaining yourself tonight. And, you're more than welcome to call in and, keep us updated, because I think as it goes on, the children will adapt to these experiences, and hopefully it's all for the better. There's a reason. I think that are being abducted are special in their own way, and it's not you're being chosen for a reason. And it's not just discriminate. So, I think you got to look at it that way as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could just make it stop because so far there hasn't been a good enough reason for it.
Well, you know what? Can you take some questions from the public? I think some people might have some questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Let's open up the lines. There's a lot of people that want to get in tonight, and we've only got about 15 minutes left. So let's see, area code 708, you got a question for the caller tonight?
Well, actually, my name is Vinny, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, I'm in the process of writing an autobiography, and what's really strange is a lot of the stuff that's going into my autobiography has to do with experiencing it. And what Stephanie it is? Am I correct? With your name? Steffi. Yeah. Well, one thing, I'm very skeptical when I approach this subject. But being a skeptic and being a debunker are two separate things. I'm a believer. I believe that a lot of this happens, and I just wanted to tell you. I'll tell you real quickly that your son's story reminded me of something, and this is where it all began. I'm a psychic detective in Chicago, and when I was about 5 years old, not a couple of years old, or maybe 4 years old, I was in my bedroom. My parents put me to sleep. Well, at the corner of my bedroom, there was this figure. And you're talking about your son seeing these things. Now, I'm in Chicago, and it's the Southwest side. There's a lot of buildings around here. And the strange thing that you hit, and it really was interesting, is how these things, I consider them to be moving somewhere between the lines of reality, because obviously we don't understand the complexity behind this. But real quickly, I was in my bed, and this figure actually floated from the corner of my room up above me. This is when all of my stuff had expelled. Everything began here. This was the starting point. What it looked like was what you would consider a gray. It was static color. It was static gray. It reminded me of the snow you'd see on an old TV set if you didn't get a channel. Now, it had big eyes, and I wasn't afraid because I was too young, like your son, to be afraid. We wanted friends, and you really hit that when you said that. And I will never forget what was going through my mind when this happened. So this figure is literally floating above me. I am 100% up because it was still somewhat light outside. My parents put me to bed at a young age. I mean, they did an early time. So what happened is I'm looking at this, and I'm excited. Now, here's what the strange or even aspect to the story is. I started talking with it. And I'm thinking, I'm really excited. I have a new friend. It was what it told me, and I'll never forget. It said that it was lost and that it was crying. And what happened is it went to the middle of my room. Now, my parents were right outside that door. I wanted them to see it, so I got really excited. Want you to meet my mom and dad. All of a sudden, from the middle of the room, I heard a deeper voice, and it said no, and it popped. It literally popped. And I will never forget that, and I will never forget the feeling. And like I said, I'm writing an autobiography, and this is the first time I've ever called into the show, and it happened by chance that YouTube, or it popped up. So I just wanted to tell you, you really hit something there when you said friends, because I will never forget how excited I was when I saw this. Now, if I saw the same thing today, I don't know if I could swear, but I'd be a scared mother. I've had night vision. I'm an ex-member of the IRBA, and I've also done stuff with night vision. I went to Sedona. I've seen things in the sky with night vision goggles that would make you question, like I said, the reality. And I have a whole lot of stories. Someday I'll share. But I want you to know, you really hit something there, and that is definitely something to remember and to be cognizant of.
Absolutely, and that's we open up the show, and wow, that's amazing. You see, like I said, you're touching people to their core by just even coming on the show, and it's what a coincidence he's able to join us. What amazing. Appreciate you calling in your experience. Call back again, 708. We want to hear more of your stories. Appreciate calling in. Area code 31. Got a question for Steffi?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you're live. You got a question for the caller, Steffi here?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, a little bit delayed reaction. Let's see. Yeah, we got you live, man. How you doing? You got a question, sir? We got you.
Yeah, I just, I don't think she's full of crap, man. It's crazy. I think she needs to get her kid to see if she's got any implants in him. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Kind of tough to get that. Like, you can't just go to a doctor or a medical center and say, I need my kid X-rayed because I'm looking for alien implants. You can get yourself in even more trouble, that kind of stuff. So any other kind of suggestions? Because it's kind of hard. You really can't give much suggestion except you just basically got to deal with it and consider this positive. And talking about it, I think, is the best part.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for her, so just hang in there, and it just sucks that you just can't explain it, but they're out there, man, and they got some mad skills, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Any question for the caller? Any specifics you want to know?
No, I don't have any questions. I just think that she should get her kid checked out for implants because, everyone that starts out young, they pretty much track them till the day they die.
See, and my biggest fear with that is that if I take him anywhere and say, hey, I just feel like he may have been abducted by aliens or something, and they implanted him, that's automatically losing my kid because I'm crazy, obviously, and.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
what else can I do?
If there's any, God forbid he ever gets any kind of injury or anything with, toddlers sometimes need X-rays. Just look out for it in the future if there's anything there. But, yeah, I could understand. You can't just go to the doctor. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Let's see. Let's bring in more callers. Area code 505. You got a question for Steffi?
Yeah. Have you ever got anything on recording or
any video evidence, Stephanie? Any video evidence?
No, but you know what? I will definitely start recording him. Absolutely.
Yeah, you might want to keep a close eye. Yeah, maybe just kind of a camera on the scene. It's a good camera in the room. It's for safety as well. It seems like he might be a sleepwalker too, and at points of sleepwalking, when that could lead into situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it might be a good idea. And then you never know what you might capture. If you could get an Elliot Gray on film, now we're talking.
See, and my mom's told me to put a camera in my apartment too, for that reason. And it's I'm so scared of what I might see.
Do it. You got to do it, Steffi. You got to just do it, see what happens, and we'll just play it by ear what happens next. But you got to take that risk, and that's a thing in life. People need to take risk, and I think that's a great idea. You never know. These guys could realize you're filming it and then scrub it. But moms always know best in their own way. So it's a famous saying here. So there you go. 470.
I'm definitely going to invest in it.
Good. 470. You got a question for Steffi?
Can you hear me?
Sir?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. I don't have a question. What I would like to say is I've actually been trying to get into this show for a while. This is your government. I can't give much information, but I can tell you that the government has been working with alien life forms there are 7 different alien life forms, and the reason your child's getting outside is because of portals. I mean, I can't give a lot of information. And I mean, I heard you talking about Area 51. It would be mind-blowing if you actually walked into any part of it.
What do you mean mind-blowing? Blow our minds. We're on Third Phase Moon. We just heard a story that blew my mind. Tell us, man. You called in. All right. What do you got? We want to hear it from you.
There are multiple projects going on. The black projects that you hear about, rumors online, are nothing. The military has equipment that we've basically got from UFOs. The facility, what you see from photos from your satellites, are nothing. These things, some of these buildings go 100 feet, 200 feet into the ground. There's roadways, there's interstates. They're all connected to military bases. There is a line.
Do you think? Let me ask you this: you think all the alien abductions, 100% of them, are basically government engineered biological beings to portray an alien extraterrestrial? And none of this is anything to do with alien existence. It's just strictly military.
No. The Men in Black, I don't know if you've ever saw any of those or have ever seen any video.
Of course I have. The third phase, we've got many videos of the MIB.
The MIB are grays.
They're the grays. And the alien grays, that these with the big almond black eyes and large head, that's an industrial made organic being of some sort.
Aliens are coming to Earth, abducting, getting basically blood samples of humans to genetically create a hybrid. So it's half human, half alien.
Okay, I got you. Kind of like a cross hybrid. Yeah, I've heard this theory before. I'm not exactly sure if I'm a big believer in it. I do believe that our government is reverse engineering alien technology, without a doubt. But, Steffi, you really got to keep in touch. Our show's ending, but give us a call in, a few months down the road, or let me tell you, get that video surveillance system, hook it up. It's for your own good, I think, obviously, and then maybe something will happen very soon once that's implemented. So I appreciate you calling in. I know it takes a lot of guts, and I'm sure by the end of this you're going to feel pretty good about yourself, because when we put this up on Third Phase Moon, people are going to leave their comments, and please feel free to participate in that, because people are going to have more questions for you. Steffi, really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. We'll be broadcasting again. Wow, what an incredible night. I didn't quite expect that one, but you just never know when you tune into Third Phase Moon what you're going to get. And, man, I'm very pleased, and I'm sure everybody around the world could appreciate what you just heard. So stand by. More videos coming into Third Phase Moon as we speak. And we'll be back here next week, Friday, taking your calls from around the world. Everybody, be safe. We'll see you guys very soon, and you guys are the best.